Begin.
All right. We are in your books on page 360. Studying anxiety disorders. A continuous state of anxiety marked by feelings of worry and dread, apprehension, difficulties in concentration, and signs of motor tension. That's muscle tension. This describes my mom exactly. Now, so we call that generalized anxiety disorder when you're just anxious all the time, maybe too much. You may have heard somebody having panic disorder or panic attacks. You ever heard of that? Anxiety disorder in which a person experiences recurring panic attacks, feelings of impending doom or death, accompanied by physiological symptoms such as rapid breathing and dizziness. We call that panic disorder. Some people just get really scared all of a sudden, and they have a panic attack. Their heart starts beating, starts sweating. It's like they're in a lot of fear. And sometimes they don't know why it comes on. That's what they're like. It's a drawing of somebody having a panic attack.
You guys look very good.
Yeah. Post-traumatic stress disorder. You may have heard of that. PTSD. Anxiety disorder in which a person who has experienced a traumatic or life-threatening event has symptoms such as psychic numbing, reliving the trauma, increased physiological arousal. This is stress caused. You see it in a lot of veterans, war veterans, that have killed people or seen these huge explosions and stuff. And you hear about the Vietnam vet, whenever the helicopter flies over, they have a reliving of the events in Vietnam, and they get real stressed. It used to be called being shell-shocked. Y'all ever heard that term?
Mm-hmm.
That's a less politically correct way of saying it. A phobia is a fear, an exaggerated, unrealistic fear of a specific situation, activity, or object. The most common phobia is called agoraphobia, a fear of public places, a fear of panic attacks. Agoraphobics are people who will stay there. There used to be, less politically correct, called shut-ins. Person didn't want to go outside, didn't want to be in a public place. Often it's because they have panic attacks. And they go out in public and they have a panic attack, and they get all nervous and shaky, and they're having a panic attack, and everybody's looking at them, and they're scared. Now, even worse, because everybody's looking at them. So they're scared to go out in public because they might have one of these panic attacks. So they never go out in public. So panic attacks and agoraphobia are often interlinked. And there's people who haven't been outside for years, decades. Here's all the different phobias. Can you guess them? Get a sheet of paper and see how many of those you can guess. You might have heard of claustrophobia already. Don't yell it out. Don't yell out what it is. Whoever gets the most right wins.
All right.
Ooh, little contest. Huh? You're better at the psychic games? Well, why don't you psychically figure out what these are? Because I know what they are. You can read my mind. No? You should always bring pens and pencils to class with you. You guys are old enough. Figure this out. There you go. Have you written down any of these? I'll read them to you. Maybe that'll jar your memory. Arachnophobia. Don't yell out what it is. Jesus. Ichnophobia. Vathmophobia. Claustrophobia. Ecclesiophobia. Genophobia. Misophobia. Ornithophobia. Rhipophobia, somnophobia, wiccophobia, and zoophobia, or zoophobia.
I guess we're on the fly.
Are y'all helping each other? I think the most I've ever had right is 8. There's 12 there. Maybe 10. Somebody got 10. Usually people who are good at Latin do well at these sorts of things because they know the root of the word.
I don't like Latin.
All right, you ready for the answers?
No.
I
Rhipo. What is that? Rhinoceros?
Rhipophobia.
That works.
A lot of people have the first one.
That's the fear of
Don't say what it is.
trees, right? Oh, jelly donuts.
We getting there?
Yes, done.
Trade it with your buddy so they can grade it for you. That way I know you're not cheating. Giving yourself a better grade.
Try it.
All right?
Hold on.
You ready?
Yes.
Almost.
Here come the answers.
On.
3, 2, 1.
0.
Bam.
I.
Arachnophobia is fear of spiders. Ichnophobia, fear of needles or pointed objects. Phasmophobia, fear of stairs or steep slopes.
I got that one wrong.
Claustrophobia, fear of confined spaces. Everybody should know that one. Ecclesiophobia, fear of church.
Judge.
How about genophobia, fear of sex? Mysophobia, fear of dirt and germs. A lot of people have that. Ornithophobia, fear of birds. Rhipophobia, fear of defecation. That's going number 2. Somnophobia, fear of sleep. What if you had that?
You die.
Wiccophobia, fear of witches. Zoophobia, fear of animals. You should have already known that because didn't we do a zoophobia video? All right, who got the most?
You got 4.
7? Anyone get close to 7?
4.
4.
Okay. 4? Did anyone get 0? Should have all got claustrophobia.
Well,
That's kind of
do I win?
You won?
Did I win?
Waylon wins.
Yeah.
Waylon, come get yourself a sticker.
Alright.
That he graded his own.
Did you grade your own?
Yes.
Waylon.
Well, I can prove
Invalid.
Really?
Invalid, you have to give me the star.
Yeah. I thought genophobia was fear of cheese.
Panic disorder is an anxiety disorder which may also occur with agoraphobia, a fear of public places and uncontrolled situations. If you have panic attacks, you just don't want to go out because you might have one in public and everybody looks at you. Agoraphobic activists do what they can to help save the rainforest.
What is that again?
Agoraphobia is a shut-in. Person who won't go outside. Fear of public places.
Oh, I get it, because people used to tie themselves to trees.
He's tying a tree to himself because he won't go out there. OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. This is what the video today is about. Anxiety disorder in which a person feels trapped in repetitive, persistent thoughts, which are called obsessions, and repetitive, ritualized behaviors called compulsions, designed to reduce anxiety. You've all probably experienced obsessions in the past. You ever had a song stuck in your head? That's an obsession. Only it usually goes away pretty quickly. But what if it didn't go away and you always had the song stuck in your head? That's what a person who has OCD is more like. They always have this obsession with something. A lot of it is repetitive behavior. There was a famous basketball player named Chris Paul when I was growing up, who he just couldn't stop shooting free throws. He had to do them. He was OCD about it. He didn't feel right unless he shot a certain number. And he got to be an incredible basketball player. He was a pro, an NBA pro. And he just couldn't leave the gym.
Was he just sitting there the whole time throwing?
Yeah, he made something like a record, like at the time was like 700 consecutive free throws or something like that. It was amazing. He was OCD. He had a psychological disorder. A lot of these can be treated.
Well, I don't think he wants to treat his.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I don't get it.
They're writing the same thing over and over. That's an obsessive behavior. Doing something over and over or thinking about something over and over is, if you have something like that, you might be OCD. That's what the video is about today. Here's a normal brain. You can see the highlighted areas are brains that are using a lot of sugars and glucose to think. And here's the obsessive compulsive brain. It's typical of somebody who has OCD. So they can do tests on you to check. Because when you're thinking about something, your brain is active. And if you just think about something over and over and over again, it leads to high activity.
Why more surface than others?
Those are the parts of the brain that have to do with whatever the thought is.
So if they were different thoughts,
Probably might be in a different location, yeah. So that's what the video today is about. It's about OCD, and you'll see not only what the illness is like, but you'll also see how it's treated, which is the treatments we'll talk about more next chapter. But it's very interesting. It's a good video.